the fact that they're even waiting and they, have their attention on us, and they feel connected with us. Like, I'm just forever grateful for that fact. And um, as you
Yeah,
know,
I
we're
mean that's kind of like the biggest, I think, the biggest point.
hmm
Like whenever we have these interviews, especially with people abroad, it just goes to show, like, again, like, a lot of people might not realize it just because on the outside it looks like we look really professional, but
yeah.
honestly, like, it's just us. Like, it's literally this whole team, this whole operation, it's
Yeah.
exactly as you see
Like
it.
the members, the fans know,
Yeah,
like that's it.
that's it. Like, there's really no like crazy thing behind us, or you know what I mean? Like, it's what you see is what you get.
Hello. So, how have you guys
Hello.
been doing?
Very well. I mean, busy. We're still trying to finish this project, the rollout plan.
Mhm.
There's just so much to do, and it's very hot here.
Oh yeah,
So
here too. Yeah, same.
there,
But how are you feeling about like the album release, like in the days that we're coming up to it? What are your emotions right now?
honestly, like we're very excited, but at the same time, there's always something else to do right after.
Mhm.
Like there's so many incremental steps that we're kind of zoned in on the now.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're all
Just
excited.
focusing on the
Yeah.
delivery.
Uh-huh.
It's the best.
Yeah,
We want it to be quality. So
absolutely. I think with DPR, that's always always the case. With you can always expect quality and something beautiful.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this album because I want to start with the title. Like, why did you decide to call it "I Cool"? Like, tell me the story behind that.
yeah, so this is kind of paying homage to our first EP, Coming to You Live. And that EP, it was very lighthearted when we made it,
Mm,
and it was one of the first ideas that Rem kind of pitched to me, where we should use it as a tagline. Like that should be the title of the EP, and I loved it, and that obviously was very successful. It's one of the projects that really jump started our careers, and this time around, we've always wanted to play around with "I'd Cool" because that is our second signature sound. And around the time I was making "Is Anybody Out There," that album is, for the listeners who know, it's pretty deep. It's very conceptual. It has like a lot of um, a lot of layers to it. Let's say.
right.
Um, but I've always had in mind where after this album, I would love to jump back to the joyful sound, the lighthearted sound, or the more digestible sound that people like from me. And I did just that right after the album. I went straight to the studio and started making songs like that. And after Ram and Ian, like they heard my archive and they helped me pick out the songs that were good, and it happened to be around 6 or 7, and it was very similar in track numbers. And also, I made this album with summer in mind,
Mm,
and we were just looking for the title, like what would be the perfect title, and he popped up with the idea of like, yo, this might be the perfect time. We're trying to bring a cool summer. Your signature sound is "I Cool," might as well. And I loved it as soon as I heard it. And it's just the perfect time, I think, in my career to just give that type of sound again and that vibe again. And at the same time, the fans love the signature sounds.
Mhm.
They're hyped about it, and off of their reaction, we're hyped about it. So that's kind of how it came about.
nice. Like, how have been the reactions to Yellow Cab so far? Is that like a good symbol of what the entire record is going to sort of sound like? And what have fans been saying?
Well, most definitely the reaction, we were surprised. At least like in my opinion, I feel like Yellow Cab is more it could be a little bit different. Well, it's like I haven't done too much rock genres, and I'm pretty sure people are expecting more of a hip hop based,
Right.
808 kicks, like, the more hip hop flavored type of sounds from me, or something smooth or sweet. I don't know. Um, so when we did put out this album, like, or put out that song, I didn't know what to expect. Like my friends loved it, and that's why I put it out. But the reaction was way better than I could ever expect. It was crazy. Everybody had a positive reaction towards the song. And it really surprised me because the rest of the album it sounds even better in
Mm.
my opinion. And it's different. There's sounds that people are familiar with me, and I'm pretty sure they would really welcome that. And there's also new things I'm doing. And just all in all, like the EP, you can't take one song out. There no one song is similar. It's all different, and that's kind of what the fans expect from us. So yeah, we were surprised, and
It's a good starter.
yeah, it's a good starter.
Yeah.
Definitely
Uh,
energized.
Exactly. I was going to ask, like, I mean, you answered that already for me because I wanted to ask, like, what do you feel is, the sort of difference in genres that you are exploring with this album? Is there anything else that, that you were really excited to try with this record? Like you've said rock, but anything
Yeah,
else?
definitely pop. I really wanted to try pop and dance music.
Right.
Those two things I really wanted to do. And punk rock, like rock, those genres it's what I grew up listening to. That's how I first, got into music in the first place. And not many people know that because I
Yeah.
am a hip hop artist, but that's kind of where my joy lies. I still feel like I'm a kid when I listen to rock music. And yeah, like again, genres tapping into new ones, that's always fun for us, and we're doing it because it's fun and
Mm,
we want to share that. So we try to put as much different sounds and different flavors and different colors into this. But the one thing that would, I guess, describe this album very well, it's very colorful. There's not one, it's not Yellow Cab is yellow, like that's how we named it. It's yellow, bright yellow,
right.
but there's other colors. There's purple, there's red, there's black, there's white, there's blue. That's how I see the album. So I feel like the fans will have a very colorful experience. Yeah.
Did you begin with that sort of mindset? Like when you started making the album, was it a theme that each song would have its own color, something like that?
Well, personally, that's kind of what I had in mind because I see moods as colors, and
Okay.
I just really wanted this album to be just a rainbow of sound.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, even the music video for Yellow Cab was just packed with color and just like everything was just popping off the screen, which I thought was really fascinating. Can you tell me
yeah.
a little bit of the story in that music video and how you sort of came up with the concept?
Honestly, the story it's more for interpretation
Mm.
for the fans. Um, one interviewer asked me like, did I die in the video? And I was like, yes, I did. But to me, that video and that song, if you listen to it, it's bright, it's joyful. It seems like a high teen love song. But knowing us, at least for that song, I had certain things I wanted to say, and those things were just like my attitude towards music and how I want to go about my career as myself and my team, and also just about the industry, real stuff. And me and Rome, when we're shooting, at first we were honestly just shooting very randomly. We're just goofing around, having fun, doing things I wouldn't really show to the world, but this time I just wanted to. It had to be lighthearted. But when we ended up, sequencing the footages, um, we quickly realized where we want to go with this, and it ended up being more of like a metaphor for just how I guess interpret the industry and where we're at and where we're going. But other than that, yeah, it's more of an open idea, I
Mm.
guess.
I loved at one point in the track you were talking about like the way international fans sort of appreciate you way more. They get you way more than the Korean audience. Why do you
Mm.
feel that is? Like, why is their international appreciation that much bigger for you?
It's very interesting, and honestly, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the frustration because this is our home country and this is where we do it, and this is no like we're not saying like one fan base is better than the others,
Mm,
or
right.
we need the Korean, like it's fans are fans and that's all we care about and we love that. But when you see the Korean chart system where we've been doing this for 4 years 5 years now, and we pride ourselves in quality music and quality content, and we really make sure we invest everything we have when it comes to money, time, and energy. We put in our all, and when sometimes you see music on the charts, and in my eyes at least, it's not up to par, it's not up to standard, but it's just in the charts and everybody knows the song. It does get a bit frustrating.
Mm.
And I just, just being an honest artist and just an honest speaker, I just wanted to put that out to the world.
Hmm. That's something a lot of artists, no matter I think where you are, like whether it's when I speak to the Indian artists, American, Korean, everyone talks about that struggle with, should I write something that I know might chart, or should I like sort of stay true to who I am as an artist?
Hmm. True, true. And that's, I guess that's the difficulty in this career. But I think we're doing a great job, and we really don't care. We're just gonna keep going because the fans love it. We love the fans, and as long as we're touring, doing shows, and meeting them, like that's the best part, anyways.
I think that's why we also appreciate you guys so much because, especially for me, whenever I watch anything that DPR releases, whichever artist releases something, it sort of always stays in your mind. It doesn't get washed away by the rest of like whatever's happening in the industry, you know? It's something that stays there for a really long time. Like when you drop Jasmine, like that song is still like one of my all-time favorites, you know?
Mhm.
So I really want to thank you for releasing such profound and beautiful music. Like whether it's the sound or whether it's the visuals, it's always like
Yeah,
110%.
yeah,
Thank you for
yeah.
noticing.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. But tell me like when about your collaborators on this record, because you've got Hwasa, you've got Benzino, you wanted to work with him for like quite a while, like I read somewhere. So
Definitely.
how did these collaborations happen, and how did you know which artist was right for which song?
Yeah, so for Boom featuring DPR Ian, that song was something he was making.
Oh,
And
okay.
I remember he played me it once, and I loved it. Honestly, like, straight off the bat, I was like, bro, I really want to have this song in my head. But I was like, really, that's a really cool song. And he insisted that I feature on it, and we maybe put it out as a single in the future. And I totally loved the idea. And I guess a few months passed, and I showed him like I played him my songs, and he was like, bro, remember that song called Boom? Like, it would fit so perfectly here because it has a different shade. And I know you're talking about colors. This one seems like a bright red, and it's just so different, and
Wow.
it completes the album. And I was like, oh, my prayers came true. I was like, okay, give me it. Let's complete it. Like, let me put my ideas to it too. And we collaborated, and it came out. It's one of my favorite songs in the EP. I think it's Rems too. Yeah,
Hmm.
That's my current favorite listen right now.
awesome.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really good. And Hula Hoops, that one it's produced by Cream, and I actually completed the whole song by myself, not
Okay.
thinking there was going to be a feature, because sometimes when you when you think there's a feature, it might not happen, and so. But I did finish it, and then I remember meeting Benzino for the. I've been meeting him for a while, but I remember him coming to our studio like more often, and we started working on songs. And I believe we made around like 20 songs already. Like, that's how we got close. I'm not too sure if we're releasing it, but
Hmm.
it was just for more for play, just to get to know each other. Um, and yeah, like, after we got really tight and close, um, I just played him hula hoops, and I was like, hey, like, I have these things complete, but it would make this song so much better if you featured on verse two. Like, what do you think? And he was like, bro, I'm down, anytime. And I was like, wow. So it was a very like natural process, I guess.
Hmm.
The build up to that. And before I asked Benzino, though, I did ask Kwasa through text. I was like, yo, it's been a while. I obviously featured on
On
her
Maria.
song, and I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, and I thought it would be amazing if she did feature on our songs too, because the fan base seemed to love her collaboration in our
Yeah.
city. Yeah. And her too, she was like more than welcome right away. She said, I'll do it. I remember she wrote her own verse and she recorded it, sent to me really quick. It was a very pleasant process because there was no delays. It was quick and we were all on board. And that song just it's one of my favorite songs too. And I feel like it will be the crowd's favorite because
The synergy.
yeah, the synergy. Like
Yeah.
when did we see a synergy like this, you know? So very proud of that song as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, which song are you most happy with on the record? Like, most proud of? You listen to this and you feel like, yeah, that I did real good here. And which is a song that was a little bit difficult to write or produce, like the process of it.
Um, I feel like the difficult one was hula hoops, just
Okay.
because there was a lot of people, all different recordings, like all of the fix ups and detailing you have to go through. Like I had to personally go through that, and that was like the hard part. But honestly, creatively, like everything was just very easy. It was a flow, and that's why I love this album, and I believe the fans are gonna really enjoy it. My favorite song, like the one that I think I really killed, was Summer Tides. Personally, like I really love Summer Tides. That's currently my favorite song. But overall, in general, if you look at the lyricism, like for is anybody out there, it was a lot of English. It was very English
Mm.
dominant. But this time around, I really I put my intentions on really balancing it well, and I really practiced my writing for this, and I think it really shows for this album. So
Yeah, I'm excited to like discover it. Really, really cool.
thank you.
I wanted to ask about, even like your mental space and where you are in life. Like, how is it different from your previous album to this album?
Yeah. So for is anybody out there, like life sucked. Like
Yeah.
environment was great. You know, we have a studio. You know, we have an amazing fan base. I have friends, but something about like my mental space, things weren't working, and I guess I didn't welcome the pressure and the demand. I guess from the world and the fans. It was something that was new for me because I haven't been doing this for too long. Like it's not like I was a musician since I was 5. Like I honestly started when I was like 22, 23, and it hasn't been
Right.
a while. And I guess those things really got to me, but um after Is Anybody Out There was complete, that's kind of where I really came out of my slump, and my whole attitude and my mentality um that I had towards music and this career and my role in the team. I just made an agreement to myself that, it's only going to get more intense. It's going to be more work, less sleep, all the way till the end of this. But I just made an agreement that it's okay. And this is one life I'm living, and let's just go full throttle for my boys, my friends, because they're doing it for me too. And I just, as soon as I made that decision, things were okay no matter what came to me, no matter what work came to me that I had to finish. It was all okay. Like I just wanted to give my 300, 400% for every verse I do, every song I do, and that's that. Yeah.
From when you first did Coming to You Live, and then you did Her, and then Is Anybody Out There, and now I Cool, what has like been a moment where you have felt most proud of yourself as an artist, where you've been like, I love this part of me that's evolved. I really like that this happened to me. Like, what's been like a really proud moment for you as a musician?
So as a musician, I think what was very mind blowing for me was I keep comparing it to Coming to You Live because it's such a homage. But when I made Coming to You Live, I had to really try. Like I
Mm,
had to really squeeze it out of me to make something great. And when I look back on it, it is great, but there's so many things lacking, in my opinion. But since I've just been doing this for so long and I've been consistent and I've really just been in the studio hammering like so many songs. But for this album, what was cool was for it to be good, like for it to be digestible, I had to try the least. Like I had to intentionally not try. But the songs came out amazing, and my friends loved it, and it really surprised me because I really didn't try. It's not like I'm saying like I didn't put detail or I didn't care about sound, I didn't care about lyrics, like all of that I care for, and that's a standard. But in the sense of like me just trying to like make this perfect, I had to actually tone that down for it to be perfect. And I guess that really shows that I really showed myself like I grew as an artist, and I know how to do a lot of things now. So that was a proud moment for me. And another thing was just me as a human being, like not as a musician, but more just as a person. Like I'm really proud of the relationships I have with my teammates, especially Rem and Ian, because like I feel so much closer to them more than ever. And like just the fact that I feel that way, and like the brotherhood is just tight and it's warm, it's loyal, like all of that. It's fulfilling, and it just makes me want to go harder. So I cool finished. It's gonna be one of the greatest summers of the century, but it's funny how I just want to go even harder right after this. So
When people come to a show of yours, or if they listen to a song, or they just come across you, right, as a musician, like what do you sort of hope that they take away from that experience of discovering DPR live?
from the show,
From anything, like suppose someone just comes across a music video or comes to a show, like what do you hope that they take away from that?
um, I actually never thought of it. Like I never thought of that. I really don't know. I mean, they do take out what they want to take out, but at the end of the day, we do this for the fans. It's genuine. Like Rem, man, behind closed doors, like he's going in, same for Ian, same for, a lot of the kids in our team. And I just hope the fans know like we're really doing it for them, and we're giving it our all. And as long as they, I guess, know that, and if they appreciate that like even more, like that's kind of, I guess, I just want them to know that fact. Like we're really doing it for them. Mm.
I have to tell you like one story about your song To Myself that
Uh-huh.
always, this is a guarantee that always happens if I play it at any party or if I play it in a friend's car or anything, right? The
Mhm.
entire like group of people, even if they don't know who you are, will start like chanting DPR, we gang gang. Like it
That's
just
pretty crazy.
happens.
No, that's crazy.
It's
What?
insane and beautiful. And then later they'll be like, who was that? Like, give me his Spotify, like, give me his Instagram. And
Mm.
this is magic that I've not seen happen with any artist before. I just had to tell you this.
Wow.
Wow, we didn't know. That's crazy.
We'll
Yep.
have to go
You
out to
guys are
India
like,
soon.
Hmm.
sorry, what were you saying?
We'll have to go out to India soon.
You have to come because you guys are bigger in India than you think. Like, that's like, because it shocks
I mean,
me also
yeah,
sometimes.
that's one of the objectives we have, especially when we do our next tour. It's like because we're still like a very mom and pop run label,
Hmm.
as in we're very still just it's a family run business pretty much here.
Right.
So we still don't know, like we still don't have all the right networks of the communication set up. Like we're still very just analog with a lot of the stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, we brought up in a couple other interviews too. It's like the next run we do for world tour, we want to go as much as we can. We want to go to as many cities as we can, and obviously it's not going to be easy just kind of doing that on the business end, but at the end of the day, like our hearts are there, and if there's a market there, for sure, like why wouldn't we, like if anything, we would love to just keep traveling, experiencing different cultures. We're all from different parts of the world, and we just so happen
Exactly.
to be in Korea.
Yeah.
So we're very familiar with that, like we actually welcome that. We welcome new traditions, new cultures, new philosophies. And so that's kind of what makes DPR very global in a way.
Mm.
And so I think, for our next run, we want to kind of show that in the best way possible. And it's to hit a lot of these different cities we haven't got a chance to yet.
For
And I think
sure.
India is definitely up there,
We love India.
Yeah, I think India is a great fit for you guys because at this point in time as well, over here we've got like a hip hop revolution happening. So there's such incredible hip hop and R&B and pop artists rising it where they weren't before. So the audience itself is more receptive than ever to new sounds. Yeah. So that's why I
Cool.
feel a show with you guys, I think
Yeah.
would just be
I mean,
ideal.
we'll hit you up maybe when we start planning that, because
Yeah.
we don't know anything.
Yeah.
I
So
can help with that. Yeah.
we'll need a nice guide or something.
Absolutely. But have you checked out any Indian artists? Have you seen any movies? Like, what do you know about India?
We honestly, I mean, this is speaking for myself, but I don't know a lot at all.
No.
I don't really know exactly what's going on over there, and
Mm,
it's like I would love to find out, but at the same time, it's like I don't know where to start.
Yeah,
That's
true.
kind of where the feeling is.
True.
Like
Like, where do we start?
I know it's a huge country. I know it has a huge, deep history. I know it has a lot of traditions, and I grew up around a couple Indians when I was back in New York.
okay.
So I love Indian cuisine. I love Indian
Oh yeah,
food.
Indian
Mm,
food. Uh,
That's all. That's as far as I've gotten though. I haven't gone past the food part. So after that, like entertainment wise or what's happening, like I would need a nice rundown of like some native there that can just help like fill us in. You know?
native, here we go. I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, this is
can,
why we're talking, right? We're establishing the connection.
absolutely. Absolutely. I can totally help with whatever you need to know, like whether you want to discover musicians, you want to discover our movies. Like, I got you. Like, just reach out and, I'll send stuff over.
Yeah, for
yo,
sure. We would love that because we get a lot of inspiration from other like parts of the world. Like a lot of our
Right.
visuals are very influenced from other cultures and other parts, other stylistic like,
mhm,
places and all that stuff. So we would love to kind of just explore as much as we can,
for
what we have.
sure.
And
Yeah.
if anything, that's kind of the reason why we want to travel so much out there because
Mm,
it's different than seeing it in real person, you know what I mean? And so
absolutely.
like obviously we can like in this day and age YouTube anything, but we like to go out there and experience it ourselves.
Mm,
For
Especially
sure.
Ian. Like that's how
mm,
he visualizes things. He goes there. You
mm,
know.
Yeah.
So
And it's
we
like
have that.
clear in the work. Like, that's the
Yeah,
thing, like
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're exactly talking about. Like, when we see all of your visuals and we see like the new sort of sounds that even that you guys explore, it's very clear that you're doing your research, that you're looking, like out of the
Right.
box, which is fun.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean
For
that's
sure.
kind of how we shot a lot of our old videos too. Like we
Yeah.
went to Greece for
Greece.
Martini.
Yeah, Martini.
We
London.
went to London for Text
Yeah.
Me. Like we went to Hawaii for Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Like a lot of the inspiration we shoot our videos for is just using that natural like habitat that's provided, and I think
Mm,
that's where the most realistic pristine visuals come out.
Yeah.
Like it's just using that place for what it is, the history it has.
Mm,
And I
mm.
think a good possibility is if we ever make a trip out to India, we would definitely love to have the idea of
Yes.
maybe shooting a video out there, and just
Oh,
yo.
it's a must.
incorporating a lot of the elements of the culture, in our next video, and that's kind of the fun part for us because it's like we like to show the Korean audience stuff that they probably would have never seen,
Exactly.
right? And that's kind of how we got really like up there in the visual game. It's because not a lot of people can shoot the way we shoot. Like we're very just kind of like, hey, we like this, let's go right now. I mean,
Awesome.
we kind of have that in the back of our heads every time. Like we don't like to travel in big groups with like this huge production or anything. Like I mean, Ian is like a one-man team by himself. He's
Mhm.
truly brilliant in that sense. And as long as we have like a good, just natural place to shoot at with some good sunlight and just obviously like a song in mind, like that's
Hmm.
all we kind of really need, right? Everything else just kind of happens naturally. And that's kind of how a lot of our videos were done in the past,
Mm.
So I think once Corona kind of starts hopefully clearing out in the next few months or year, that's going to be on the top priority. Like we want to travel ASAP. Like we
Yep.
want to
And
go a
DPR
lot.
in India, that's something that needs
Yeah.
to happen. Like, I'll keep bugging you guys. I'm not going to let this go now. I'm going to be like, where's that India tour? I can hook you up
Yeah.
with whatever you need.
That's great to know. We will keep that in the back of our heads for sure.
And DPR Live, do you have any message for your Indian fans in particular? Because everyone's just dying to see you and they love you and they want you to know that.
Well, first of all, uh, I'm very happy to hear that there's people that even don't know our songs are like shouting, DPR we gang it. That's crazy. That's still ringing in my head. I can't believe that's happening. And the fact that there's people from the other side of the world waiting and anticipating our work that we truly put our hearts and souls
Right.
to for them. The fact that they're even waiting and they have their attention on us, and they feel connected with us, like I'm just forever grateful for that fact. And as you
Yeah.
know
I
we're
mean that's kind of like the biggest, I think the biggest point,
mhm,
like whenever we have these interviews, especially with people abroad. It just goes to show, like, again, like a lot of people might not realize it just because on the outside it looks like we look really professional, but
Yeah.
honestly, like it's just us. Like it's literally this whole team, this whole operation. It's
Yeah.
exactly as you see
Like
it.
the members, the fans know,
Yeah.
like that's it.
That's it. Like there's really no like crazy thing behind us, or you know what I mean? Like it's what you see is what you get. with
Right, like
us.
I was surprised that it was you on email when it's usually like a PR team or something that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
planning it.
No.
You're so hands-on, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I do my best, obviously, but
Yeah.
again, it gets very overwhelming at times. But I think part of the appeal is to keep it as family as possible amongst us. And I think that kind of rings true with the fans as well.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like our biggest differentiating factor with all the other labels in Korea, I feel like. You know, like I don't think a lot of people or labels can say they run this operation this way.
Mm.
Because it is very challenging, you know. I'm not gonna lie. We are a family, so we do get into bickering arguments. We do fight. We do have a lot of like ups and downs along the way. But at the end of the day, it's that bond that also makes magic work, right? It's like when you understand someone so well to the core, you just automatically know when it clicks and the magic starts working. Whether that's a visual piece or it's a music thing, like we can just look at each other and we already know. Like it's like a telepathic communication
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
And that only comes from family members, right? It's like it's only when you guys know each other to the core that's actually possible. And I think that's what makes our work kind of stand out. And I think that's what a lot of fans like to gear and gravitate towards too. It's you don't see a lot of that, you know. It's and we try our best to keep it that way, you know. Even if we get bigger, even if the responsibilities grow, we always try to, you know, huddle in, and we always try to focus all on our efforts on one thing and to move as a pack, you know. And
Mm.
I think that's kind of the whole model behind DPR. It's a regime. It's just one goal, and it's together. It's tight knit. It's a family. It's a unit. And I think that's kind of like the the best way we can kind of keep at, and to also preserve what we have here, and to keep it as natural and artistic as possible, right? Like really, like to the core, like that's what we're here for. It's to become, you know, the best artistic team we can become.
Where do you sort of see DPR as a whole going in like 10 years from now? You know, like what do you envision when you think about it?
I mean, this is a question we ask each other a lot, and it comes up every year. But I think it's at this point in our time, it's like it's not really about where do we see ourselves. It's more about just can we enjoy what's going on right now? Because we did that like 4 years ago. We were like, hey, I wonder what's gonna happen to us in 5 years. And now it's been 5 years, and we look back and we've made a hell of a progress. But at the end of the day, it's like we just started looking back now, and it's been 5 years. And it's ironic. It's like we constantly go back to our memories, especially because Corona now, like you can't really travel, you can't really do anything. So it makes you very nostalgic of the memories.
So true.
But like we look back and it's like, man, like I wish we could go back to that time
and enjoy it more.
Yeah, I wish we
Oh, yeah.
we would have juiced out that time more. Like if we went out to like Greece and Santorini to shoot martini, like that became a very distant memory to me almost. And it's like it almost teaches you a lesson, like in the next 10 years or 20 years, like let's just cherish the journey right now. And I think that's kind of like the vibe that we're trying to enter with the whole team, right? It's like this is not going to last forever. Like we're not dumb. We know the ups and downs of entertainment. We know there's a second generation coming. We know we're getting older. We're getting, you know, just a bit slower. You know, the trends are moving faster. Like there's going to be a new wave of artistry, right? And we're not exempt from that. But at the end of the day, it's just while we're here, let's enjoy it. Like and let's do whatever we can to make the best possible quality music, visuals, and to give the fans the best experience while we're here. And I think that's kind of where we're complacent at now. Like let's just do that. And everything else will follow, hopefully.
Like enjoy the now.
Right. And I think it's hard for artists to grasp that concept. Because it's like it's every day. It's like, oh, new song, like I gotta keep up, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like shows, magazine shoots, photo shoots, interviews, like it's just constant. And I think for us, it's like when we get together, it's like, hey, like we're human. Like let's enjoy the experience right now, because we are doing something we love to do, and that's a blessing in itself. Not a lot of people can say they have the right to do that, and so we want to cherish that, and we're grateful for that. And I think that's kind of the humbling factor for us. So yeah, I think that's my answer. It's just enjoy the now.
Yeah. I don't think I've related to something anyone said like this much for a long time, because like you were saying, it's always on, right? You're always just switched on. You're always moving from one project to the next. Like for me, it's like from one into the next, and I'm editing and I'm doing all this. And like now that you're saying it, I'm like, damn, yeah, like I don't remember. Like when I went to Santorini and I went to Greece, I'm like, how much of that do I actually remember? Because I was so busy
Right.
working. That's
Right.
crazy.
Like Ian told me a long time ago, like he takes a lot of pictures and videos just wherever he goes, whatever he does. And I always used to get on to him, like, why are you taking so many pictures? Like, why do you always take videos everywhere? And now that I look at it, that's actually like the smartest thing to do. Because
Yup.
every time we kind of go back down that memory lane, like he has all the footage. So like I like went over his house a couple days ago, and on his computer it's like all these trips that we take that we've took over the years, and he's like been showing me. And it's like, wow, like this is the type of memorabilia that I feel like, like we shouldn't forget about. And the best way to do this is to document it.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's kind of been something at his core. Like that's why he's such a great director and videographer. It's because he seizes the opportunity. And so that's something I'm trying to learn too. That's why I'm like these days I'm trying to take a lot of pictures. I'm trying to take a lot of videos and just store memories, like memories, moments, experiences. And I encourage a lot of the fans to do the same. Like you only get one life. You're only a certain age at one time. Like every day is different. Just enjoy, right? And just experience now.
And on that note, anything else that we have to look forward to in 2021? Like, what else are you guys doing? What's the team up to? Anything you can reveal or hint at?
I mean, I give the same cliche answer every interview, but a part of our mystique is we don't tell. And
I had to give it a shot. You know that.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
We get it.
I completely understand. I would do that too if I were you.
Yep.
But at the same time, for us, it's also like after this album, we really don't know what's gonna happen next. Like we really move with the flow, and we might have plans and projects, but again, like because we're mom and pops run shop, it's like every time it can just change instantly. Like one day we'll think we're gonna do this, and then the next day it's like, oh no, let's just change course 180.
Man, that's exciting.
And that's kind of the excitement, right?
Yep.
It's like, well, let's put the album out first because that's been like registered. It's like it's out there, it's publicized. But after the album, let's see what the fans say. Let's see what our what we want to do. Let's see where the vibes are going. Let's see what our feel is. Let's kind of just enjoy and see where that takes us, right? I think a part of this whole process is not always having everything scheduled out. It's just like you just go with the flow, and I think that's kind of what art is, right? Art is not something where it's like it has to be reasoned out or there's logical steps to everything. It's just sometimes you think, sometimes you feel. And I think we're in an era in our time right now where it's just let's just go with the groove right now. This album too, it's just let's just go with the groove. It's summertime. People, they want to listen to some good feel good music. Let's just go with that, kind of that's the encapsulation of what's going on here on our side, and that's kind of the message we want to put out for now. So
and that's how I want to live a little bit, like not plan so much and like get all caught up in all of that. And I'm going to do that with DPR. But thank you guys so much. I know I took up quite a bit of your time, but
it was enjoyable.
Thank you so much for doing this. And I also want to thank you for, I think, just being there, right? Like with your music and with your art. I think it's been really important to me as a person to like have you guys as artists in my life. It's so true of so many of my friends. Like it's a big group of us who like play your songs at parties, and we'll be like, just discovering you. And like, it's just been such a fabulous experience to have you as part of our lives. Awesome. So thank you for making such great art.
Can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You don't even know.
To all the India fans out there, let us know.
Please.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know through messaging, DMs, whatever. Like
we read everything.
Yeah, like we try to take out as much as time of our possible, like schedules, and we try to like look at everything, and we try to just, you know, get the feedback, see what the fans are saying. We have dedicated time towards that. Like I said in other interviews, we also watch a lot of reaction videos. We like what people are saying and thinking and interpreting in their own ways. So I feel like, you know, just let us know what you guys think and feel, and if you love it, show the love. If you want constructive criticism, we're open to that too. Like, you know, we're down to earth people. We get it. And I think as musicians, it's always important for us to keep that, you know. And so let us know, man. And next time we would love to go out to India as
Yes.
soon as possible.
Yes, I'm excited. And I'm here for anything you might need, any help you might need setting that up. I got you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you guys for joining me. Please take
Of course.
care and have a good
Take
release
care.
week. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank
You
you.
too. Bye.